Hello friends and family, welcome back again to Netcode-Hub channel. I hope you are doing well. I'm also good. Today I want to answer one of the questions from the comment that I get on the video that I do. This question was asked by Mohammed Sisi. Let's look at the question that he asked. I made a video on creating a hybrid Mari app. That's a Mari Blazor hybrid app, building job portal. And that is this guy, Sisi Mohammed. The question was, can you make a video where Blazor Wasm, or let's say Blazor application and Mari Blazor hybrid share the same component and library? So I made a response that we'll plan that soon. And that is today. So let's go through it. I have this sample video or this sample project done, and that's what we're going to have a look today. Now with this, that is a web-based, so you can see Blazor server web application. So we have this component, and it is just a simple CRUD operation whereby you can just read, you can create, you can edit, and we can also delete it. So as you can see, we can just add a new over here. So add new, test, description is test, quantity 34, add. So you can see it has been added. You can also edit the same thing. So click on this edit. You can edit it, test 1, description 1, 349, update. You have it. You can also delete it. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, delete. So you can see we are using a library, that's a class library for Reusable pages, and that is what we are using for this web application. Now, when we get to the mobile aspect too, let's see. You can see we have the same application over here, meaning they are sharing the same library. Right, now this one too, you can also add more. So let's add name, that is a test, and description, test. Quantity 34, add product, and you can see the product is being added. Let's edit it. So test 1, description, test 1, quantity 340, update it, and that's all. Let's delete. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. You can see it is off. That is the way. So here we are creating a Blazor shared library, and we are sharing this component between the mobile app version and the web app version. That is what we're going to have a look today. When I'm done with this, check the description. I'm going to leave a link over there for a GitHub repo. You can just go in there and I'll clone it, and I'll look through the source code as well. Now, for this purpose of this video, we are not going to interact with database. We're going to create a class library, whereby we're going to have a static data source, and you're going to interact with that data source. All right, so we are not talking about database connectivity. We are talking about just using this library. So to make this video short and simple and clear as well. As you know, I'll do my best to make this video very simple and also clear. Please give thumbs up to this video, because when you do that, it actually pushes this video a lot and it helps this channel grow. You can do that. I have a link over there in case you also want to buy me a coffee as well. Check the description. All the information that you need, they are written there and they are waiting for you. All right, without wasting much time, let's start by creating a project. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to create a blank solution. You're going to add a class library for our data source. You're going to add our mobile app project. You're going to also add our web, that's a Blazor server project. That is a 4. And the last one is you're going to add the Reusable library. So that is where we're going to create the shared component in. So 5 projects are going to create. Let's start ahead. So in here, the first thing that we're going to do here is going to create the blank solution. So let's quickly do that. Click on the file, new project, and we're going to search for solution here. So that is it, blank solution, and that is the name that I'm going to use. So demo, don't mind the name, okay? It's very long, but this is what I'm going to use as a GitHub repo. So demo reusable component in Mari Blazor hybrid solution, right? So supposed to have a web app as well, right? Don't worry, let's move on. So click on create, And that is our solution. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to add our project. So let's right click. Let's add new project. And now here we're going to select the first one is a library. So we have class library. Now with this class library, that's a C#, we want to name this as data source shared library. So, and that is where we're going to contain the static data. So in the normal sense, this can have access to database connectivity and a whole lot of stuff and get data for us. So we're going to contain the logic that we need for database connectivity. So you make sure the frameworks are the same, 7.0. Now aside from this, we're going to create our shared component, and this is going to be a Razor pages. So solution, I click on the solution again, click on add new project. And now in here, we're going for Razor class library. Check this. So click on this, and now let's give it a name. Shared component. Click on next. The same 7.0 as the framework. Now we are done with this. Now what we're going to do here is we need to add the project itself. That's the two projects. So we're going to add this, the Mari app, and also the Blazor web or the Blazor server application. You can make it as Blazor WebAssembly. It is the same. So right click. Let's add a new project, and you can just click on Mari, and I'm going for this .NET Mari Blazor hybrid app. So then let's name it as Mari mobile app. So click on next, the same framework version 7.0, and add that. And now once we wait for this to get created, we also prepare ourselves to create the next project, and that's going to be the web app. So right click on the same project, the same solution, and now let's go in for add new project, and this time around we're going for Blazor web, not the web, Blazor server app, right? So Mari, click on this Blazor, it's around here. Then you can just choose the Blazor server app, and the name here, it is a Blazor server web app. Click on next, the same framework, click on create. All right, so you can see from here that we have the 5 projects created: solution, Blazor web server app, data source shared library. We have the Mari app, and you can see we have a shared component app. These are the projects that we need to add. So please pause the video if you haven't done that, and I'll do them, and now let's move on. Now while we are done with this, let's do some small cleanup. So let's delete this. We don't need this, and we also don't need this counter. We don't need this fetch data. So let's do those cleanups. When you go to the shed, we have this survey. We can also clear this. All right, now let's check the library. So the first class, we don't need this. Let's go to the next one, mobile app 2. For this data, we don't need this data. On the pages, we also have the same counter, and let's delete it, and the fetch data too. Now when you go to shared, we have the same survey prompt. Let's remove that. Okay, now when you go to component 1.razor, we don't need this, so remove it from that project. Okay, now let's go to my program.cs. You can just clear this because it is nowhere to be found. Let's remove the namespace. And also let's go to program.cs for the web app, and you can see we have this. You can also remove this, and you can remove everything here. Okay, so now let's save this. Now when we are done, let's build this application, and as soon as it succeeds, we can start working on this project. So right click on the solution, let's build all together. So build solution. Now you can see build started, so let's wait for everything to be done. All right, so you can see that they are done building, and 4 succeeded, 0 failed, right? Now that's what we're going to do. Now let's check back to the solution, So you can see that we have these 5 projects. Basically, we have 4. Solution is not part; it is just a container. Now, all the projects that have been named in addition as shared, it means they are going to be shared by both the server, that's the Blazor web app, and also the Mari app. So for shared component and also data source shared library, let's add both to each of these projects. So click on this server, click on dependencies, and now go to add project references, and now make sure you select data source and also shared component. Click on add. Now do the same thing to the Mari mobile app. So click on the dependencies and I do the same. So shared component and also shared data source. All right. When it comes to the data source shared library, that is a shared component, it will need models from this data source. So let's add the data source as a reference to this shared component. So open this, click on dependencies, add project reference, and at this time around we are adding the shared library. All right, so we are done with the linkings. The next thing that we're going to do here is let's create our static data source. And where are we going to do that? We're going to do that inside this data source. So right click on this, let's close all these and let's only maintain the data source. That's what we're going to work on. Right click on it and let's add a folder to this. The name of the folder first is let's add models. And now with these models, we want to just add only one model. And now this model is going to be a product model. So right click on these models, let's add a class. And now the name of this class is going to be product. Now let's have these properties. So you can see this is just for practical, so we are having just normal properties that we do have in models. So we have just the ID, name, description, and now quantity. So required, let's add that. Data annotations, namespace, we add that. Okay, now let's create the static product service, and now that's going to come from, let's see, the same place. So we are going to create another folder and I'll name this as app service. So right click on this, add then new folder. Let's name it as services. And under services, we are creating the product service. And this is going to be also a class. So a class, and I'll name it as product service. We are going to make this as static. Okay, so we need not to instantiate it before. We just make that static. So we can call it directly and now use it anywhere. Let's replace it with this. Let me clean all this. So what is this static class doing? You can see we have a static of what? Product service. We created a static list as product. We instantiate it over here. And now there's an add product. So this looks like a database, right? So with this we are adding, update it here. We get the product by ID. Then we're going to just update it. The next one is we're going to delete it. So we remove by the ID. You can see this is very simple, right? So this is going to be a static class which is going to be holding the data that we add or we manage. We are done with that service. What we're going to do here is first, let's work on creating a Reusable component. So let's create the shared component. And now the first component that we're going to create is going to come from maybe a product list page. But before that, let's create a folder here. So shared component, right click, and now add a folder to this. Name it as component. You can name it any way that you want. Okay, can give you the name to it. Now the first thing is we're doing here is let's have a page, Reusable page, and let's name this Reusable page as product list page. So that's the Reusable component product list page. And now inside this product list page, you want to just have this very simple one. Now let's go through and see. You know, here we are linking these models from this project. Okay, so from this data source shared project or library, we have these models in there. And now we have just a div class. There's a button on top as add product. Now, when this is clicked, it's going to handle this. We're going to call this method. We're looping through a list of products. So when the count is greater than 0, then this is what we are doing. We create a table. We provide the table head. Then we're going to loop through the table. Loop through the product list, and now set the table data one after the another. Aside from that, we're going to have just an icon over here as edit, and now delete. So if it is on click, you want to pass in here. We're going to pass in the whole model, and now here we are passing in the model's ID. Now, when you come down here, you can see we are saying if the count is greater than 0, then do this. But in case it is not, then display this, not in your table. Now, when you come to the code, that is where the magic comes. You can see that here we are creating a Boolean and variable here, and it is our show product list. And this is a parameter. It means all these are the parameters. You're going to supply them as an input anywhere that you call this component. So we need all these parameters that are going to supply to this component that we are creating. So you can see we have this show product list, and this, if it is true, then show this. But in case it is false, it means this is going to be hidden. Then we have a list of products, as you can see from here. So we're going to supply a list of products to this. Okay, so when the product comes in, we are going to look to this product and now display them over here. Aside from that, if you take this is just a event callback, and here it is returning. So all that you see in between here, they are all return type. It's returning an object, here it is returning an integer, right? And now here it is returning void, nothing. It is returning nothing. So here it is just a button function, but here they are all models function. Now check this. Handle edit product event callback, meaning as soon as you want to edit this event is going to be invoked. As soon as you want to delete it, this event is going to be what? Invoked. And now for delete, you can see we are passing an ID. So you want to return an ID. Here we are passing this object, both product. So you want to return the object here. I believe this sounds good. That's right. Let's move on. Now here, this is for handled add product button event. So here, returning void, meaning when this handle add product is clicked, you can see it is not passing any parameter. So we're going to return that. And as you can see, so handle edit for this method, then the event callback method that we create here, we invoke it over here. But you see, all of these, they have a return type. So passing the return type, delete passing the return type, and now the handle is void, so passing now void. Good. So it means that anywhere that you call this component, all these methods are going to be available, so we can grab them. Now, when you grab them, make sure you add a return type as well. Product end, and now here it returns nothing. Now let's go to the list. So once you have this product list, what we can do here is we can now call this product. But I want us to finish all of them, or let's do it one after the other. Now let's check the index. So let's use this model here. So this is what we're going to do. We go back to the web server, that's a Blazor server. And now inside there, you see we're going to have the pages, you're going to have this index. Okay, so with that index, that's what we're going to call this component. So Blazor server, then click on the pages, click on index, and now in here, let's clear everything and now leave only the route here. Now within this index, let's try to have this container fluid and the row and etc. So all these are the normal bootstrap things that we do. So let me just close them. One more and one more. Okay, so in between here, we want to first call this product list. So let's grab this and now let's paste this here. So this product list control period, we then have to use the component or the namespace. Now check this. Here you can see we have a product as a list. So we need to provide the product list. We call our product service, and this product service dot product contains the product list. So that is what we are passing in here. So control period, let's include that service as well. Now when it comes to this show product, you see this is a Boolean. As you can see, it is what is a Boolean expression, and this variable has to return either true or false. So we need to also create a variable for that. Now with that, we're going to create it over here under the code section. So at code, then so you create this show product list, we assign it over here. Okay, so as soon as the value of this changes, it's going to also change in here. Now the next one is, you can see we have this handle add product event callback. Meaning if I want to click on handle, or if I want to add product, this is what I'm going to do. So add product, it means you have to call this method. Now as soon as you call this method, it is returning what? Product. It is returning an object of product. So you have to also accept that as well. So this is what we are doing. We are going to create on add product. So this add product, we want to hide all the stuffs and I'll display that this component, product list component. So here, if I click on add product, this is what I want to do. Show product here is going to be set to what? To true. Okay. And now this method, this method, what is this method? It is just a default method, a general method, which set all the models or all the views to false. So that is the method here. Let me just grab it and I'll put it down here. So we say show product list is set to false, and now show add product is set to false, and now show edit product also set to false. These variables, we are not done creating them. They'll come when you want to manage the product. Okay, so we have show add product set to false. Now anytime or when this page initializes, we want to display the list of product that we have. So in order to do that, we have to override this initialize method and now set show product list to true, because that's what we have now. Now that is to, if I click on handle edit, it is coming in with, as you can see from here, it's coming in with what? Model as a product model. As you can see from here, the return type here, it is product. So we need to accept that. Now we can call this edit product. Then within that edit product, let me put it here. So edit product. Now you can see from here, we create a new instance of this product model. But where from this product model, we haven't created that. So we have to create a product model to handle that object. So that's what we are doing. And we create this product, Control period, let's add a namespace, and you call it as product model. So if I click on edit product, you can see it is coming in with a product model. So we handle it over here and we assign this model to this product model over here. And that is what we see. So we see that product model. First of all, we have to make sure it is empty, it is instantiated. Then we assign the value of this incoming product model to the product model we have in here. Then show edit product, we set this to true. So here too, we're going to create, as soon as we want to edit this, they're going to also show this answer. But for now, let's put it to sleep. And let's handle the next one, that is delete product. So if I want to delete product, what am I going to do? We also have to create a method to do that. And in this case, since we are using, this one is for Blazor server, we are using this JS runtime to do that. But to do that, we have to inject this JS runtime on top. So let's put that on top here. So let's inject this. Then we can now show. So you can see we are making a confirmation. I usually want to do this. So in case it is yes, then this product service that we did dot delete product, we pass in the ID. When you check this product service, delete means what? It needs only ID. We do that and it's going to remove from the product list that we created. That's fine, isn't it? Okay, now let's check it over here. So aside from that, in order to remove from the list, we call this state has changed to refresh the content. And when we do that, we set this show product list to true. So when you remove it, you want to navigate, you want to go back to the list so we can see that it has been removed actually from the list as well. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do here is we have to create two components, and that's an add product and also update product. In a normal sense, you can use one component to handle those two processes, but let's create separate components for that. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to create a component known as add product. So let's do that in the set component. So add, so result component. Now that's going to be the add product page. Now within this add product, we're going to have a method or a form whereby we're going to add that. So I'm going to just grab this and in here, let's paste it here. So it is just a form that we are creating. So let me just close this. Yes, save, then open it again so we can see it well. Okay, so you can see from here that we create also a parameter that is show add product. And now in case this is true, it means you want to display everything here. We are using an edit form, product model as the model that we're going to handle. Then you're going to have handle submit in case we click on the button, this add product. We have quantity, we have description, we have name over here. Now you see, this is what we are doing. So we create a product model here. And now we also accepting a parameter known as showed add. You can see this is a boolean. So anytime it is set to true, it's going to show this. So we do this so we can navigate between the add product, show edit product, show list of products. So instead of creating the component and now setting up the route to navigate to each component, we decide to create them and now hide and show them. So we are playing hide and seek in here. Okay. So in the same index page, we can now load. So it's like loading an iframe, loading them inside and now unloading them from the same page. So we have to also call an event callback, and here it is returning a product. So handle submit product event callback. As soon as this handle event is clicked, handle submit, we invoke this, and now you can see the return type here, we pass in this model. We pass into that, and aside from that, we want to set this model as empty, so it can accept a new entry as well. So after this, when we go back to the index page, we can now go in there and now create a method or handle the boolean variable there. That is the show add product. So we can also copy one of these here, and now this is the show product list. So we have this show add product. Okay, and now we have the last one that we're going to be creating. That is a show edit. So let's also show this edit. So all these are parameters that are going to supply to the component in here. Now let's also add this add product page. So down here, let's paste this. So that's an add product, and now we are passing in show add product as a boolean variable over here. Then it is coming in with this event callback. And what is the return type? Return type here is what? It is product. So with this, let's handle this as a save product. So in case I click on save product, what I'm going to do, let's have a method to do that. So in here, save product. So add product, and down here, let's paste this. So save product. It is coming in with this product model. And here we need to provide an ID. Since you're not working on database, we need to provide an ID for each. So we set initial value to what? 0. Then we want to get the last data in the product service product list. So in case it is null, it means that's the first time that we are inserting, then increase it by 1. But in case we have it over there, now the last data that we have, the ID, add 1 to it. Then assign it to this generate ID. Then we assign to this model.id. So anytime that we add data, we're going to have a new ID generated for us. Then you can see product service.add, we add this model. We reset everything and then show product list to true. So in here, let's now activate the show add product, and we can also activate the show edit product because we are going to talk about that soon. Now let's handle the show edit. Is this show edit? That is an update product page. Okay, so let's create a component. That's the last component for update product page. We're going to do that in here. So Razor component and update product page. So with the update, you know, we have to accept incoming product, isn't it? So save this, close this, open this again. Okay, so we see that here we also saying that if it is true, show this. Now here we have a product model, the same thing, name, we have the description, quantity, and now there's an update product. Now when this is clicked, you want to handle it by handle submit. But before we do this, we have to provide a parameter for this product model. So in here you can see we are making as a parameter. It means you're going to supply the value of this product. Then show edit, we set as a bool, we set over here. Then in case I click on handle submit, you want to create an event callback where it's going to return the product that has been added or updated. Okay, so that's what we are doing. We call an event callback, we invoke it, and we pass in this product model because here the output is product model. Take note. Then we set this to empty. Now when you go back to this index, we also have to call that and use this update. So we can do that by just adding the name or the product itself from this index page. So this is from the index, and now here let's put this update here. Okay, now you see here we need a product model. Now this is a product model that we have. You know, if I click on edit, this edit here, it is returning a product model. Check this. If I click on edit, this edit is returning, check this, a product. So the product going to be assigned here. And as soon as it's assigned over here, we also assign this product model to this update because this update needs a product model to display. So it's like the output of this becomes an input of this. Very simple. I believe this is clear. Yeah. So, and here you can see there's an update. So show edit product, that's a Boolean variable that we are creating, isn't it? Yes. So here we're going to also play hide and seek with this. And that is it. In case I click on update product, what am I going to do? So just update, we are going to call a method to update it, and I'm going to use the service that we created to update that. To edit, delete, let me just have an update in here. So update it, and it is returning a model. So when you check this, what is it returning? We see it is returning a model of product. So we need to also handle that in here. Okay. Then product service.update, we pass in the model. Then we reset everything. We show this list to true. So this is all that we are doing. Now let's see. So let's navigate to this page for Blazor server. Click on the shared nav menu, and now in here the home, we can just talk about manage products. Okay. Then the next one here, they are not using them, so we can control KC, we can comment them. All right, so let's set this web app as a startup project. Now let's run that to see. So click on this, let's run it. So while it's running, let's also set this. So this, you have to now make them active. Yeah, so that is it. Now let's check if it has finished. Okay, so you can see we have this now, add product. So in case, as soon as I click on add product, it will happen. I can now add this. So let's say this is test, then test, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click on add. You can see it is off. So the second one also, the list of gets shown. So as you can see, we have it over there, and we can also edit it. So you can see, so the output of that becomes an input here. Then test 1. So test 1, test 1. We can even add 0, update it, and you can see we have it. We can also delete this, and that's it. You can see it's very simple as well. Now let's work on how to add this to the mobile app. Okay, so this, we're going to do the same thing here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab everything from here and I'll paste it to the next one. Okay, so from here, you can just grab everything. We copied it, and then we go back to this Razor page. So from this Mari mobile app, click on the pages, now the index, and I'll paste it in here. Yes, so just copy and paste, and that's all. All right, so you can see we have all the pages over here, and now that's what we are doing. We want to make sure the width fits the screen of the phone. You know, this is just a small device, so we can do that by setting up this style, getting the device display, and this getting the weight over the density. And we're going to set this position to absolute and I set the left and right to 000 so we can have it fixed in the content of the device. Okay, so this we've gone through already. Now the only change that you're going to do here is, instead of using the IGS runtime, we're going to use the pop-up option for this. So you can see we are using app.current.main-page.display alert. So here confirm delete. I want to do this, yes or no. So if it is yes, then continue on. This is the only change that you're supposed to do here. You are not going to use the IGS runtime. You're going to use the inbuilt display alert method here. And that's it. Let's go to the index here. So go to the www folder, and now where we have this index, and now in here, not that one, go to the shared nav menu, and in here instead of the home, you can just say manage products. And now the next two here, let's comment them. Control KC, save this. And now let's run this on the, let's set this as a startup project. So right click on this Mari app, then set a startup project. Okay, so after doing that, let's change this to framework of Android. Then let's run this and see what we have in that. Alright, so you can see that it is now ready. Now let's try this and see. So I click on add product, and I have to have a page where I can add product. Let's say test, and the description 1, and the amount 1, 2, 3. Let's click on, oh, so we got it. Now let's edit it. So I'm going to say test edit, test 1 90 129 date. Yes, so we have it. Now let's delete it. That's nice. Oh, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Check the GitHub. Check the description. I'll put a link over there. You can just go in there and grab it. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch you up in the next video. But before that, if you have any question too, please put it in the description as well. Okay, you can put it in the comment section. That's the right place to do that. Okay, and I'll just attend to you. Thank you, and catch you up next time.